Hi everybody, I'm Carmen with Garden Cult and I'm doing a series of gardening videos with Heritage Radio Network. Today I'm going to show you how to transplant a small citrus plant. And it's in a pretty small pot. It can't live in here for very long. And some of you might get these as gifts for the holidays or for birthdays, and you're wondering how to deal with it. So I'm going to show you what to do. First, I got to get it out of this container. See how small it is? And its roots are already climbing out of here. Okay, so I like to transplant things into plastic pots and then put it into a decorative pot so that if I want to move it around, it's lighter, it's simpler, and then I can just put it into any kind of decorative pot that I want. So I tend not to pot into the pretty container. So I have something that is as deep but about 2.5 times as wide. One of the biggest mistakes that people make is they transplant trees or house plants or any plant really into a container that's too big, and then they wonder why it stopped growing. What plants will do is, in a container that's too big, they get busy making roots, and then they stop growing because that's what they want to do. So you want to just size it correctly. 2.5 times the width is just about right. So I have this container, this grow pot. It has good amount of holes and drainage. I put a piece of landscape fabric at the bottom, and now I'm going to fill it with soil, a very loose and free draining soil. Here, and I'm going to put in citrus tone, which is my preferred fertilizer for citrus. It smells horrendous, but it really works well. It's organic. Now I'm going to gently get it out of here. And it's just a matter of sometimes just wiggling and tapping. You don't want to do too much damage to the root system. See, it's pretty well developed root system. And here's another thing you have to consider. A lot of times there's all this material on top, and that's not the depth that you want to plant it. There's too much. If I buried it this deep, the plant wouldn't do well. So I kind of want to find where the true top of the root is. So sometimes it requires a little bit of gentle exploration like this. And that's what I'm doing. And in the same process, I'm loosening up the roots so that they'll spread into the pot, okay? Now you might have noticed that it looks like there's two kinds of leaves. And what's that about? Well, almost all citrus are grown on a hardy stock of a different kind of orange, a bitter orange. The leaves are very different. I'm gonna cut that off because we don't want it to grow bitter orange. We want it to grow what it was intended to grow, which is this Repot lime. So the rootstock is stronger and sturdier than the rootstock of the lime, and that's why they graft. This is called a graft right here. The grower has attached the top of a lime to the bottom root of a bitter orange, which is much hardier. So now I'm settling it in the pot, and you'll see I'm leaving about 1 inch so that you can water. I hate when I water a plant and it's planted too high and then it spills over. That's really annoying, makes a mess, and just isn't practical. And now I'm gonna backfill. So I am backfilling with fresh soil around the roots, and I'm pressing down to try to get any air pockets out. The soil will settle, and it'll settle again after I water. This is very dry soil, so I'm going to have to water it really thoroughly. I'm pressing it down. And this you can grow indoors. This is a tropical variety. You have to grow it indoors in the winter, but you can put it out when it's 50 degrees, 55 degrees or warmer in the springtime. So I kind of knock on it a little and settle the soil, and it can live in this pot for at least a year or two. as long as you keep it well watered. And I'm leaving about a half an inch, ooh, a little piece of clay, a half an inch so that the water doesn't spill over. And I leave it staked and tied because it's a very young tree, so I want to protect it. As it grows, I'll loosen up these ties. I'm going to put this in a really bright window, as much sun as you can give it. These will love a sunny room that's warm. Keep it well watered, and make sure that you continue to cut off these stems of the stems that are below the grass, because we don't want that. We want all the energy to go into making beautiful limes for cooking. Thanks for watching.